This was like in middle school.
Yeah.
And we're like playing basketball.
Yeah.
On, like the school thing. Everyone was just chirping each other. And we used to say this thing. We would say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, you see how mad this guy gets? Yo, why are you so
I hate that.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yo, here. But that's because like I was playing Ultimate last year, but then remember I got sick.
Can you finish the Ultimate thing? Say what it is all the way.
Ultimate Frisbee?
Thank you. I was playing Ultimate. Oh, this is cool. This Ultimate Frisbee.
You never watched this.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, this
But
guy.
I watch wrestling. I know where it's going. I know where it's going. I know where it's going. You son of a here's an example. David Lucas with his George Floyd.
That doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either.
Yeah.
But I'm
You
like,
see
that wasn't funny enough for you to, like, as a comic in the joke, and then for him to double down and stance up.
He doubled down, but then apologized.
Exactly, bro. Like, so that's ultimately like. But yeah, let's do something we normally do here every week on the podcast. You know what it is. Every Monday on my Instagram story feed and on the community tab on YouTube, we do an interactive poll question. We leave it up for you guys to vote on, and then we discuss the results right here on the podcast. I got to get my phone for this week because once again, we are on location. Rose texted me, so we'll see what he's saying. This week's poll question. How easily offended are you, comedy or not? And the options were 50-50, too easy, rhino skin, or only from personal attacks. And before we get to the results, how do you vote on this one?
Rhino skin.
I feel the same way. Like I have a caveat though. I'm sensitive. Like, I'm an artist, bro. Especially comedians, bro. Comedians are fucking sensitive. But I'm not sensitive in the sense that, like, I'm offended by, I have rhino skin in that sense, but I definitely have, like, a defense mechanism. This is from high school.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's both the reason why I have rhino skin and why, like, when I get attacked, I'm going right back at you, bro. Like right now, my homie, one of my friends, like has been going ham with the mom jokes, but it's a white boy. So like he's going, you know how white people do mom jokes. They go all the fucking way. So as soon as I even get a whiff of this shit taking place, bro, I take it to the most extreme place I can. Cause I'm like, yo, fuck it, bro, it's dog eat dog. Mm-hmm. But that is, I have to admit, that is some sort of like sensitive, immediate reaction. But it doesn't bother me. Does that make sense? To still be sensitive to something that doesn't actually bother you? Or is it like a knee-jerk reaction? Maybe sensitive isn't the right word.
It's more of like a reflex, maybe.
Because it automatically takes me back to high school.
That's like, a reflex.
Yeah. So maybe that's the better way to put it.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there is some sort of, maybe I'm more sensitive towards my art. Because
okay.
I definitely get defensive. Like, you know what you're sensitive about when you get defensive about shit. Mm-hmm. And it's mostly just like personal rips where I'm like, but it's not even like I feel offended. I feel like I have to get one back. I'm like, oh, this is war, nigga.
So let me ask you this. If you get to the point where you don't even feel like you need to respond.
That happens too. When I say I get, like I really only get that way with homies, with friends, with family, with people.
Well, that's more because it's fun.
Correct.
Yeah.
If it's somebody that I don't fuck with or that I don't know, there's almost no reaction.
Yeah.
So that's why I know ultimately I do have rhino skin.
Yes.
But it's the attacks that come from people that know you.
Well, they can cut.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like, okay, if you let it escalate, that's what I've learned over time.
Yeah.
That's why it's like a reflex. If you let shit go, it will go all the way. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, I'm not at the point where we're moving furniture anymore to fucking like start fights over.
That's so funny.
But like it happened. I've definitely left rooms because I'm like, oh fuck, this is too much.
I remember this one time. This was like in middle school.
Yeah.
And we're like playing basketball on like the school thing. And for some reason, this one particular game, everyone was just chirping each other. And we used to say this thing. we'd be like, we would say something.
Yeah.
We'd be like, yo, you see how mad this guy gets? Yo, why are you so
I
mad?
hate that.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yo, you see how, and then you'd like go to your friends, yo, this guy's so mad.
And then they would just be slapping the
know.
shit out of you. Fucking.
Yeah, I know. So we were doing that.
I hate
and
that shit.
There's just one game that still like, because we like rarely played basketball, right?
Yeah.
Because like, it's fucking Milton. No one knows how to play basketball.
Oh my
You
God.
know what I mean?
You are the basketball team.
I didn't even make the team, bro. Like,
Weren't you the black people of Milton though?
yeah, they chose the 5'5" white guy over me.
5'5"?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'10", 5'11".
You're even taller.
I know, but I'm bad at basketball.
That's crazy. Well, was he better than you at basketball?
He was like,
Sounds like he was better than you at basketball.
he will obviously because they chose him, but
You
like
just- yeah.
he didn't play any games. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, oh, we need to fill 12 spots.
Oh, he's a bench.
yeah,
he's
and
a bench.
then they like.
So he took your seat.
He just took my seat,
He just took
basically.
your seat. Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
But like other sports, I can play.
All right, fair
Like
enough.
I'm an athletic dude, so but just when it comes to basketball,
Yeah.
I
When's the last time you played a sport?
like actually played.
Or even just played a sport?
Well, define that.
Just
but-
played a sport, not like competitively.
That's a good question.
I'm an athletic dude.
No, but
You press one question, turns out the nigga's never lifted a weight. He's like,
I lift weights first of all. But
shout out to Mars Martian.
shout out to Mars Martian. I would say like, because I do athletic stuff, but in
Yeah.
terms of like actually playing a sport,
Yeah.
I would say maybe a year. But that's because like I was playing Ultimate last year. But then remember I got sick.
Can you finish the ultimate thing? Say what it is all the way.
Ultimate Frisbee?
Thank you. These niggas, I was playing ultimate. Oh, this nigga's cool as fuck. Ultimate frisbee. Fuck.
You never watched this.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, this
But
guy-
I watch wrestling. I know where he's going. I know where he's going, you son of a bitch. Wrestling's been good. Wrestling's been really good. Actually, wrestling's happening like in a couple hours, so
Yeah.
we should probably wrap this up.
You gotta cut this one short.
Cut.
No, but Ultimate Frisbee I played like probably last year, like competitively, but then I got sick, so I had to like stop everything, basically. And then because I got sick, they put me on this medication, which I told you like fucked my head up for months. Like I just,
bro.
you know what I mean?
Those meds, bro, that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know what's weird that you bring this? I was thinking about this, because I for sure have like, not autism, but I feel like I have like a mild form of ADD, not ADHD, but definitely. And I think they tried to tell my mom this when I was younger.
ADD, there's ADHD, which is hyperactive.
Hyper, I'm not hyper.
You're not hyper?
Well, like I am, but not, like I can concentrate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're hyper. I think ADD is you just attention deficit, so you lose attention, but ADHD is where you're hyper. Isn't it? I don't know.
I don't think
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look this up. What's the difference? But no, because isn't it both like attention span type shit? Because when I really want to, I just pay attention. But bro, I allow myself to be free. This is what I really learned, especially as I got older.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is it? Read it.
Attention is ADHD. Yeah, hyperactivity disorder.
It doesn't say like the...
ADHD, hyperactive, impulsivity, fidgety, restlessness.
I'm not fidgety.
Often,
Like I do, you know what?
often completes people's sentences.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Difficulty waiting turn.
What, you think I have difficulty waiting turn?
No, but like that's finishing people's sentences as well.
I guess, yeah. That would be, yeah. I definitely finish people's sentences.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, like I never were like fully checked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I'm grateful I didn't go on any meds.
Yeah.
I feel like
Same.
there's a greater benefit to having not gone on the meds.
100%. You learn to live with it. You learn to make it your strengths.
Not everybody though.
Not everybody.
I mean, you see how even I'm just able to calmly admit it? I'm like, I feel like a lot of people, not maybe a lot of people, but maybe I'm generalizing too much. But people definitely, have a hard time admitting any faults and living with it. Like, I'm comfortable with who I am, bro.
Yeah.
And I've learned to be respectful through my fucking whatever weirdness. But I feel like that's also, it's almost like the guidance thing, right? Like without having guidance in life, like the boxing thing I was talking about. I wanted to get into MMA, but nobody told me to get to the gym first and then like get into everything else. I feel like it's the same with mental health and shit. Like you're just kind of floating in space. But then when somebody like tells you, yo, this is this thing, it almost like grounds you.
Yeah. I mean, because I told you, I think we talked about it many times, but I'm I'm hyper impulsive, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I was diagnosed with. So I do things before I can even think about it.
Like instinctively or just like ingrained in your brain type shit? Like what do you mean? Give me an example.
Like, okay, for instance, like I will...
We're still talking about being offended, by the way. That's
I know,
so funny.
I know.
No, I'm not just funny. It's always funny how we always go somewhere.
This is the
and
ADD.
then,
We don't have ADD. We go to 30-minute tangent. About ADD. Cut. No, but like I will do things, I will touch things without thinking, should I touch this or not touch it?
Is that OCD or ADD?
That's hyper impulsivity. So I think that's closer to ADD.
You'll touch things.
I'll touch things, I'll touch walls and all that stuff.
Interesting.
So you'll notice. I
Like
don't know
for
if you-
texture?
Texture, just to touch it.
It's funny that you're not like a graffiti artist or something like this. Like it's funny that you don't have like a physical art outlet. Cause that's like, a lot of the writers and stuff that I know, they have like weird little things like that. Like a homie of mine loves Rust and shit like that. He goes out literally, like I have a color in mind, but I'm looking for textures. So today's Rust. And then they'll just go out and just fucking start going ham on Rust shit. Like it's, would that be the same?
No, that's more autism.
Yo, look at us. Partially diagnosed, partially undiagnosed, no PhDs up in this bitch.
But also, I personally feel like each one of my family, like specifically my brothers, we all have our own form of like autism and ADD.
What is it, like The Incredibles? Everybody in the family has
well, that's what it is. Everyone has their own superpower, you know? Like my one brother, he loves cars.
Yeah.
He's a car guy. If it doesn't have nothing to do with cars or making money, don't talk to him.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah. My other one, trains. He loves trains and buses and like he will. This is
what about trucks?
Trucks as well, like
so
big
transport, big locomotive transport. Okay.
This guy went. This is so funny. I'm outing you out, but this guy goes to Montreal for his 19th birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you like go to any clubs? Like, no, there's a train coming into the station.
It's your brother, so I'm gonna pay him respect. But that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Because most people they go to Montreal to party.
Actually, I think.
And then there's me with the movies and the comics and like the video games. Like I focus on like a different level, you know. Like I see.
There's something about it, but it's obviously some sort of neuroses about it. You know what I mean? Like we all have our thing. The thing that we fixate on.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that comedy's mine. Like.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm sure you can see it in this episode. If you just watch me in this episode, you'll see me just. I'm so in love with this shit. I'm like this all reverent. You know, like this is. I'm just like, I'm grateful every time I step in a place. This is like church.
Yeah, this is a church.
This is straight up church. And these are all like the saints and stuff on the wall. The pictures of the saints on the wall. But yeah, let's get back on course with this week's poll question, which I will get back out here and we'll get to the results. This will be a shorter episode this week, obviously. We got another show coming up here soon.
Yeah, we're about the 40-minute mark. Yeah.
So how easily offended are you, comedy or not? Obviously, neither of us are offended. Is there? Let me bring this up though, because it's not that I'm offended, but there are times where I'm like, you didn't need to say that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's
I
not that I'm
understand.
offended, but I'm just like, maybe it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, okay, so I'll give you an example of this. I have an aunt,
Yeah.
and you've seen. I mean, when I'm at home.
This is just the episode where Dante outs his entire family.
I know, but I'm not saying names. But this
Yeah,
is something that goes to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So when I'm at home, I'm not gonna do my hair. So like I'll just have bedhead, right? And then because I usually have an afro, it's kind of messy. And so sometimes she'll just pop up at the house, and she'd be like, "Oh, why do you look like a bum?" And I'm like, "You didn't have to say that."
Clearly, that was.
But it's
that
like
one
I'm
gets
at
to you.
home, like what?
This is where I can look like a bum,
Exactly.
especially.
So to that point, like I'm not offended by it, but it's also like you don't need to say that.
That was unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I don't even mean necessary. Like I don't. I'm talking specifically in terms of comedy right now. Is there something? Like, here's an example. David Lucas with his George Floyd bit.
That doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either.
Yeah.
But I'm
You
like,
see
I'm like, that shit wasn't funny enough for you to, like, as a comic, you should know. I'm like, hey, yo, again, say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, this is why
it didn't make sense to me. It wasn't funny enough to justify that level of fucking weirdness in the joke. And then for him to double down and stance up.
he doubled down, but then apologized.
Exactly, bro. Like, so that's ultimately like,
Yeah.
so that's speaking without, which, you know.
Me personally, jokes are not gonna offend me because I know it's a joke.
Same.
And I like to make jokes. So, you know, I don't wanna shrink the realm of possible jokes because I might be offended.
Yeah, I've offended audiences for sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't apologized for it, but I don't think I've said anything to that level because I feel like and it's not even like I'm censoring myself either. It's just I guess my comedy isn't shock comedy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to take it to that level of extreme and my brain doesn't work in that way. Maybe that's because David's a shock comic.
Would you say this new joke that I've done, the one about similar birthdays,
This is not a shock joke.
that's not a shock joke?
No.
Okay.
No. It's like, it's a joke.
Okay. It's a joke.
Yeah, like like I get it. It treads into. It's just a subject matter.
Okay.
But there's a lot of those jokes. I know you don't want to expose
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
like, and I don't mean like the way you tell it. I mean that genre.
Yeah.
That subject matter. People say though that like the mustache guys all the time.
Yeah.
They talk about the mustache
They
guys all
do.
the time.
Someone even mentioned it.
But what I've been noticing is that you really do get a good pop on that joke.
I know.
Yeah. But honestly,
I
bro,
gotta
like
speed
you
it
gotta
up.
condense shit. Yeah, like but this is, you're still figuring it out, bro. You're
Yeah.
still figuring it out. So yeah, let's
the
get to this
results?
week's poll results. Once again, how easily offended are you, comedy or not? The options were 50-50, too easy, rhino skin, and only from personal attacks. The results on Instagram were, could you pull up the YouTube while I do this? The Instagram results were 0% 50-50, 6% said too easy, 44% said rhino skin, and 50% said only from personal attacks. That personal
50%?
Yeah, that personal attacks one will get you, bro. Because at least people were honest. I like that people were honest enough to admit that. Because for the most part, most people aren't offended until it hits them.
Until it's personal.
So that's what comics are always fucking fighting against. You have you have an okay time when I'm making fun of anybody and everybody and everything outside of the thing that directly affects you, and that's kind of bogus. You can't pick and choose, nigga. That's why they say everything is open for jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you say wow for?
Well, 63% on YouTube only from personal attacks.
63, and then what was the rest?
0% 50-50, 0% too easy, 38% rhino skin.
So yeah, man, those personal attacks be getting motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And once again, I think the personal attacks most people are not comics.
Yes,
So,
personal attacks are what made me a comic.
Yeah, exactly.
So they kind of just become like water under a bridge. It's just flowing.
Exactly, but for the regular person, when someone attacks them personally
Yeah.
with words,
Yeah,
it hurts.
that's true. Oh, I gotta chop up an interview for the fucking channel. I gotta remember that.
This guy doesn't have ADD.
Yeah, I know. Yo, yeah. I didn't say I don't. I said I do.
I know.
I said I have undiagnosed, like some mild form of this shit. Thank God, though, it's not to the point, and it probably was when I was younger. But I feel like as I've gotten older, and I've like again meditation.
Yeah,
and
meditation
reflection is the thing that has changed my entire.
Yeah.
That's even making me okay to be called out on this shit.
Yeah.
I like being called out on my faults because I have tough enough skin to know, as mainly from like you, my brother, like from my family, from my close friends and shit. If it's someone that I know, if it's someone that doesn't know me or someone that I know has some personal slight against me, don't even fucking pay it any mind.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I'm paying slight mind even when it's from people that I fucks with, but at least I know or I can gauge better.
Yeah.
Like the sentiment behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's this week's poll results. Make sure you guys get in on that every Monday.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast season 5.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10 and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So like if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.